Hey cousins, I hope y'all had a marvelous day. Let's make a quick dinner. Come on. All right, we're gonna use this Nature's Promise all natural fresh chicken thighs. And the first thing I want you guys to do is take off all your jewelry and let's take this chicken and open it up and get it washed really good. Next, I take my chicken thighs and I put them in this pan and I let them just sit here for about 5 to roughly 8 minutes. And I'm really just wanting the water to dry off of them. Now, a lot of people just take paper towels and just pat them dry, but I'm not that wife. I just rather it them dry this way. I don't want to waste my paper towels on patting chicken dry. I'd much rather just let my chicken sit over heat for about 5 minutes just to dry some of the water off before I add my seasonings, because I don't want my seasonings to get absorbed in the water or washed off by the water. I want them to really get into the meat, get into the chicken really well. So let's just let this sit here for about 5 minutes to dry up some of that water, and then we're going to season it. And here are the seasonings that we're going to use for our chicken today. I love this chicken seasoning. It's one of my favorites. This parsley's going to make it pretty. Black pepper is going to give it some good flavor, as well as the Old Bay onion powder and garlic powder. Once I'm ready to start seasoning my chicken, I did go ahead and put a little bit of garlic powder on there before, and then I thought about it. I need to go ahead and poke holes in it. So I take a knife and I just stab it some, just to make sure the seasonings get down into the middle of the chicken meat. I don't like to bite into chicken in the middle. The center of the chicken doesn't have all the flavor that the outside and the other parts of the chicken have. So we're just gonna go through and stab it a little bit. This will also help it to cook evenly throughout the middle. Come here. After that, I am gonna add a full half of a stick of butter to this pan for the chicken to cook in. And while the chicken is cooking and the butter is melting, I'm gonna also be adding some red potatoes and mushrooms to saute with the chicken thighs. And so this is how I cut my potatoes. I cut the potato in half. This is 1/2. Then I take the half and cut it in half. Then I take the half of the half and I cut that in half. And those are my wedges. I cut them about that thick. So I take a potato that I've already washed and cleaned. With red potatoes, I like to keep the skin on, or sometimes some of the skin on. So I take it and cut it in half. Then I cut the half in half. Then I cut the half in half. The half of the half in half. And yes, my hands are white, and actually because I wash them so much, especially when I'm cooking with chicken. Now, once my chicken has browned pretty well, I'm going to go ahead and add my potatoes. And once I cover this, more of the juices and flavor will come out of that chicken, and liquids will come out of that chicken. And that's what your potatoes will cook and steam in. After I add these potatoes, I'm going to cover it. Now, when I buy green onion from the store, I don't store it in the refrigerator. I normally store it in a mason jar of water. And in this case, I think I was using all of my mason jars, and so I just put it in this little pot of water. And I've already used these same pieces of green onions. I think this is my 4th time, so they started growing a little slower this time, so this will probably be my last time using these. I'll throw these away and go buy more from the store. But from this one bundle of green onion that I bought from Food Lion, I was able to regrow green onion this long about 4 times. This is like my 4th time cutting these or using these. So after you wash them off, I'm just going to go ahead and cut some of those up into my chicken and potatoes. And then I'll discard these and go and buy some more to use a couple times. And then they grow and I cut them down, and then they grow and I cut them down and use them again. And just about every time I can get about 4 or 5 uses out of them before I have to buy more green onion. You just keep regrowing the same green onion that you bought. Just put them in water instead of storing them in the fridge. And every time you cut and use them, they'll grow right back. Now, mind you, I'm making this up as I go. I have some red onion and some mushrooms that I'm going to also cut up and put in the same pan as the chicken and potatoes. So I have some red onion, and I'm just going to cut these into circles, large circles. As they cook down, they'll fall apart. I'm making them about that thick. You can see that. It's not very thick, but not too thin. Now, I like to cook meals like this because I can do a variety of things with the things that are in that pan. I can take a couple pieces of that chicken and shred it and put some in a tortilla wrap and make like a quesadilla or a burrito. I can take it and put it over rice minus the potatoes, too much starch. But I can do a variety of things with it. So I'm going to take the green beans from Sunday that I had left over, and I'm going to heat those up and add those to the oven just in a bowl, something simple. And we'll have a chicken thigh, a couple pieces of potato and onion and green onion, and then some green beans on the side. And I make up a couple slices of avocado to add to it. So just a quick and easy light meal for this Tuesday night. Once I add the mushrooms to it, that's going to be a nice little toss because we like mushrooms and onions with pretty much anything. And so I'm going to let the chicken finish cooking down, and then I'll come back and show you guys the final product. I cannot find the lid that goes to this pan. So I'm using this pizza pan that I use to make homemade pizzas to cover this. I can't find the lid. It's making me so mad. But anyway, so this is how it's coming along. And the chicken is pretty much done. The potatoes are starting to get tender. So I'm going to go ahead and add my mushrooms. So let's rinse those off and add those to it. The smell was kind of off of my mushrooms. I just didn't like it. So I didn't throw those in there. So this is pretty much it. I'm going to plate some of it and let you guys take a peek. And here's the finished product. Here's some chicken, some red onion, the potatoes, the green beans from Sunday, and some fresh avocado. I'm just going to take some of this Everything Bagel by Clover Valley, so it's from the dollar store. And I'm just going to put some of that. I like to sprinkle that on my avocado. A lot of that. And like I said, I'll probably take some of that chicken breast and shred it, and take some of the red onion and possibly the green beans and put it into a chicken wrap for the kids. And then my husband will probably eat it the same way as me, minus the avocado. So let's have our first bite. There's some green bean and some potato. Let's see if I can get a red onion on there. There it is. It's hot. Ooh, this is gonna burn my mouth. It smells so good. Ooh, it smells good. It smells so good. Did I lose my potato? Oh, there it is. All right, here it is. That's so good. I would even, probably on my husband's, I would add a little cheese. Take care, cousins.